Paducah defeated Owensboro 18-7. Franklin over Du Bois County 7-6. Muhlenberg County swept a doubleheader from Fulton, winning 5-3 and 7-5. Paducah, the hottest team in the Ohio Valley League, they've won 5 straight games. They've pulled to within a half game of Hoptown in the OVO West Division. Hoptown 14-10. They've lost 4 straight. Paducah 13-10. Fulton 2.5 games back. Madisonville 5 back. In the East Division, Owensboro leads Henderson by 2.5 and Du Bois County by 3. The Hoppers will be on the road tonight. They head north to Du Bois County to take on the Bombers. It's the annual July 4th game at Du Bois County. That is one of the most attended games of the season in the entire Ohio Valley League. Could be as many as 2,000 people showing up for that game tonight. The Hoppers return home tonight. Hopkinsville 7th grader Kate Blaine finished tied for first place in the girls 12 and under division of the Kentucky Junior Amateur yesterday in Bardstown. Blaine shot a 4/40 in the rain-shortened event. Her round included 2 birdies and 6 bogeys. Hunter Reynolds wrapped up play at the Kentucky Junior Amateur Golf Tournament as well. In the boys competition, he shot a round of 85. He finished tied for 96 with a 2-day score of plus 20. Hopkinsville junior James Foles also finished at plus 20, although he was not able to complete his second round. He shot an 87 the first day and shot a 41 on the front 9 yesterday before the bad weather settled in. Madisonville's Jackson Hill shot a 3/75. He finished tied for 29th. Jansen Preston of Lexington won the tournament with a score of 11 under par. You can continue to vote for your fan faves, presented by Heritage Bank. 21 categories to vote in. That means you can cast 21 votes. You just don't vote for one player and leave. You go to each sport, vote for your favorite in each sport. You can also vote for the Sports Mom of the Year. It's the Fan Faves presented by Heritage Bank. Everybody have a safe July 4th. I'm Scott Brown reporting.
So many choices. That's what you'll say when you shop at Bella Marie Boutique. But isn't that what you want? Everyone has their own style, their unique taste, and you'll find something perfect for your uniqueness at Bella Marie. Tops and t-shirts, dresses, and yes, they have maxi dresses, shorts and jeans and jeggings, jewelry and sandals and shoes. Oh my! It's time for a shopping trip to Bella Marie Boutique in Princeton or in Hopkinsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates and specials and become a top fan. Details on Facebook.
There have been many UK football players in the modern era that had more talent or more success than Jared Lorenzen. Tim Couch, Randall Cobb, Benny Snell, and recently first-round draft pick Josh Allen. But none were more popular and more loved than Jared Lorenzen. Lorenzen died on Wednesday after being hospitalized for a week with cardiac and renal issues. In the day, UK usually listed Lorenzen's playing weight at 260 or so. Everyone knew he was tipping the scales at over 300, but he was nimble, he could run, and on his knees he could throw a ball to the end zone from the 50. His physique, his attitude, and the sight of a 300-pound quarterback hurtling down the field made him a media darling, far beyond Big Blue Nation. He's UK's all-time leading passer. You probably thought Tim Couch was. No, Lorenzen had 10,354 yards passing. He ranks second in touchdown passes with 78, and he passed for more yards in a game than any quarterback in UK history. That was against Georgia in 2000 when he passed for 528 yards. Oh yeah, that ranks second in the SEC record book as well. And he was a pro. He was a New York Giant that rode the bench behind Eli Manning. But he had a Super Bowl ring, won in 2007. In recent years, Lorenzen had ballooned to over 500 pounds. Over a year ago, he announced the Lorenzen Project. It was an online series chronicling his effort to lose the weight. Even then, he feared that if he didn't, he wouldn't live to see his son and daughter grow up. He talked about his inspiration in episode 1 of the project.
I see how much fun my parents have right now with their grandkids. And at the way I'm going right now, as scary as it is, I'll die in 5 years. Right now, if I didn't wake up tomorrow, it wouldn't be a shock to many people, Like, well, look how big he is, damn. That's the goal. I love my son. We're always going to have something to bond with. We're always going to be out playing. We're always going to be doing something. But when it comes to her, that's my force. She's the one that kickstarts me. She's the one that kind of gets me going. She's the one that said that, hey, we've got to get under control. I mean, it's to a point where, something's got to give. And, I think we're here.
Jared had lost over 100 pounds in the past year and seemed to be on his way to better health. Coach Mark Stoops, who came to UK long after Lorenzen's playing days, reminisced on Wednesday on what he learned about Jared.
Without a doubt, it was very evident, in my early years, when Jared was around and he was involved and at the stadium and trying to get him fired up, and just the appreciation that our fan base has for him was very evident, and that's not hard to understand. A guy that just was a fantastic human being and a great player, but he was just fun to watch as a football player, and he was a great person, and he was great to have around and a great alumni.
Lorenzen was named to the UK Athletics Hall of Fame in 2015. At his induction, you heard his humor and his personality.
First of all, I can't thank University of Kentucky enough. I mean, this, to me, you don't set out to do this stuff. You don't wake up and say, I'm going to get to the Hall of Fame. I didn't expect this. I wasn't sitting there going, hey, I'm going to get in the Hall of Fame. I didn't know I was on the ballot. And I get the call, and I didn't know who it was. So I let it go and go to voicemail. And if anybody knows me, I'm a bit of a social media guy, and I immediately thought when I saw the voicemail, oh God, what did I do? What I put on Twitter now? I got the AD calling me.
Jared Lorenzen was 38 years old. That's it for your Thursday. Have a happy 4th of July. Join your fellow UK fans on Facebook at Wildcat Lair. I'm Eddie Owen.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cook-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Great Wall Chinese Restaurant. You've been listening to your WPKY News Edge. Find news 24 hours a day at WPKYOnline.com. Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump this morning touting his 4th of July celebration.
Tweeting, people are coming from far and wide to join us today and tonight for what's turning out to be one of the biggest celebrations in the history of our country.
Fox's Pete Hegseth, critics say taxpayers shouldn't have to foot the bill.
Calling the Salute to America partisan, D.C. Representative Eleanor Holmes Norton says she wants the federal government to reimburse the city for any damage caused by military hardware.
You don't commandeer a national event, particularly when you've already announced that you're running.
Tanks are now sitting on the National Mall near the Lincoln Memorial, near a stage where President Trump will speak later today.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. And Michigan Representative Justin Amash quitting the Republican Party, now an independent, in an op-ed in the Washington Post, saying he's frustrated by party politics. This is Fox News.
W277CK Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, it should be actually really nice today throughout the day. You've got a chance at scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, but it's a smaller chance, and hopefully most of that will move out near picnic time, high around 88. Tonight, slight chance of showers before 8, and then at firework time, clearing to partly cloudy, low around 72. Tomorrow, 50-50 shot at showers late in the morning, otherwise high 89. Then on Saturday, showers and thunderstorms likely after lunchtime. And, of course, that's actually going to go all the way through the first of the week. Highs hanging around the highs in the mid-upper 80s. 74 at 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Penny Ryle District Health. Time to take a look at community news here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
Fresh peaches from the football team. It's officially summer, and that's how you know. It tastes a lot like summer, and it's fresh peaches. You can get your box from the Caldwell County High School football team. Benefit the kids in your neighborhood. Just ask a Caldwell County football player how they can get your box of fresh peaches headed your direction.
Highland Baptist Youth Challenge Mission Rally, August 3rd. They're in need of mission projects for the churches attending to complete. In the past, they've built wheelchair ramps, did yard work, power washed houses, decks, etc. They also need help from the community on this by being their eyes and ears, letting them know who needs help. Anyone can submit potential projects to the youth adult supervisors to complete. Last year, they had 19 churches in attendance, over 300 out and about. They did 22 projects. You can call Highland for more information, 270-963-9151. Visit the church at 318 Baker Street in Princeton.
Well, the Lake Barkley State Resort Park will present a free fireworks show today at the beach. Did I say free? Sponsored by the Friends of Lake Barkley. However, the beach itself is going to be closed to swimming due to flooding and muddy conditions. Guests will be able to park in the parking lot, use the grassy area near the beach starting at 5 p.m. Fireworks will start around 9. There will also be food time.
And Tess, more celebrations of Celebration at Calvert City is today and this evening. Catawba Harbor fireworks begin at 9 p.m. tonight. On July 5th, it's Food, Fun, and Fireworks out at Youth Incorporated. Dunk putting that show on, food vendors there as well, and baseball and softball games. And then Saturday, July 6th, it's Thunder over Eddy Bay and at Ken Lake State Park. Hen Lake fireworks on Saturday, July 6th as well.
Well, the next summer reading and library fun day at the Caldwell County Primary, Elementary, and Middle Schools is on the books as well. Of course, that's also going to be done with the Hope and Cope Center, preparing for a fun activity for Monday, July the 8th. Middle schoolers can even take advantage of the summer reading program, get ahead in points before the school year even begins. They are making reading fun.
Hey, every child needs a play date, Tess. The Caldwell County Extension Office has scheduled a Laugh and Learn preschool play date next Monday, July 8th. Activities are designed for children ages 5 and under. Children must be accompanied by an adult. Call 365-2787 to register.
Well, the next community blood drive event has been announced. Join the Blood Mobile for the Caldwell County Blood Drive at the Butler Building parking lot, 612 West Washington Street on Thursday, July 11th in Princeton. Pick up your free T-shirt, receive a free non-fasting cholesterol screening while you're there. The WKRBC reminds us of the guidelines for blood donation. Now, all donors must be 17 years of age or 16 years of age with a parent consent form, and you can pick up those or actually download those at WKRBC.org. They must weigh at least 115 pounds, must check all medications with staff, must wait 56 days between donations, and all donors must show the photo ID. So make sure that you take that with you so that when you get there, you can actually go ahead and get that done. Now, all donors are reminded to please eat and drink well before and after donation. I'm pretty sure you could find a cookie, maybe some juice over there while you're there. For more information, contact the WKRBC at 888-684-9296. Well, happy 4th.
Happy 4th, everybody.
And
enjoy.
Yes, make sure
Be
that you
safe.
stick around. We have a station full of these blue and gold shirts and these smiling faces. Sideline Report, and we're not talking about Todd. I mean, he's, he's
Todd's
always smiling.
Blue and gold and smiling. but yeah.
Well, make sure that you stay safe today. Of course, Todd Griffin is coming up with Sideline Report next. Don't forget, Audrey Lamb will be around with your news, the weather, and all that good stuff here in just a little bit. So they're going to keep you updated. It's Tess and Ty, 103.3 WPKY.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy is a family-friendly environment that offers a wide range of classes to reach your fitness and well-being goals. Whether you're into yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, or weightlifting, Trilogy has something for the whole family. Family discounts available, and your first 2 weeks are free. Located in Princeton behind Cash Express. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. This is Todd Griffin with the Sideline Report, and we've got a full house in the studio today. First of all, I want to welcome in Bobby Joe Thatcher, who is the director for Caldwell County Youth Incorporated. And Bobby Joe, thanks for coming in this morning and being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And it looks like you brought some people with you, too.
Yeah, we brought the 10U All-Star baseball team with us.
All right, we're going to get all the guys up to a mic, and I'll let you one at a time tell us who you are and what position you play, and I want to know what your favorite player is. So whoever wants to go ahead.
My name is Cruz, and my favorite player is probably Aaron Judge, and I play shortstop.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Camden Thatcher. My favorite player is Aaron Judge, and I play catcher.
All right, somebody else grab a mic. Just move around the room, and again, tell us who you are, what position you play, and who your favorite player is.
My name's Colson. My favorite player is Javier Baez, and I play first base.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
My name is Eli Cotton. I play third base.
Who's your favorite player? You don't have no favorite player?
I don't watch baseball.
Oh, okay. Who's next?
My name's Jacob Hopper, and my favorite player is Aaron Judge.
All
and I
right.
play everywhere.
Have a lot of Aaron Judge fans in the audience today. Okay, who's next? Just somebody grab a mic and speak up.
My name is Gage Sherrill, and I play any base, and my favorite baseball player is Aaron Judge.
All right. All right, who's next? Anybody that hadn't gone, just grab a mic and step right on up there.
Donovan, you go.
Oh, now.
Just do it.
Bobby Joe, first of all, where are you guys playing next, and what's coming up with the team?
We play down at Trigg County Friday night at 5 and 6:30.
All right. All right, guys, go ahead. Speak up.
My name is Parker Morris, and I play second base.
And who's your favorite player?
I don't watch baseball.
No? Oh, come on. And no St. Louis Cardinals being listed either. You guys are
I
kind
know,
of breaking
right?
my heart.
Something's wrong.
Okay. Go ahead.
My name's Donovan, and I play everywhere, and I don't really have a favorite player.
All right. Has everybody gotten a chance? Anybody still?
My name's Joseph, and I play outfield, and I don't know any baseball players.
All right.
Neither.
Is that everybody? Or are we still missing somebody?
Do I have a nod?
All right, good deal.
Did you?
Again, we got a full house today on the Sideline Report. It's the Caldwell County 10U All-Stars. And Bobby Joe, how many games have you guys played so far?
We've played 2. Murray's got 2 teams. We struggled a little bit, but I think some of that was from first tournament jitters down at Mayfield last weekend.
All right, again, a full house in here today. We need to get to a break, but we'll come back and have more on the Sideline Report right after this. You're listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Peace, love, and music. It's hard to understate the impact of the 1969 Woodstock Music Festival on American culture and music.
Join Casey Jones Distillery and the Pennyroyal Arts Council and celebrate Woodstock's 50th anniversary with the Lights Out Festival featuring the Woodstock Rock Orchestra August 17.
Hopkinsville's own Mark Jones, Chip Graham, and Alonzo Pennington, and at least a dozen more seasoned musicians will take you on a musical journey through the performances of songs played by
The Who, Sly and the Family Stone, Joe Cocker, Led Zeppelin, Creedence Clearwater Revival,
The Beatles, Janis Joplin, Santana, The Rolling Stones, and many others.
General admission and a limited number of VIP tickets are available online at pennyroyalarts.org and CaseyJonesDistillery.com.
Or in person at the Alhambra Theater box office and at Casey Jones Distillery.
So make your plans now for the Lights Out Festival featuring the Woodstock Rock Orchestra August 17th at Casey Jones Distillery.
And special thanks to our lead sponsor, Budweiser.
Dove Award-winning Artist of the Year, 4 Grammy nominations, recently finished touring with Mariah Carey, Lionel Richie, and Chris Tomlin. Contemporary Christian artist Torrin Wells is coming to Princeton for SummerSlam 2019. Joining the show is American Idol and Dove Award-winning artist Colton Dixon and Canadian GMA Award winners The Color. Mark your calendars for July 27th for this free music festival on the Butler Lawn in downtown Princeton.
And I am not alone.
Ah, it's summertime and the air conditioner is running non-stop. Hard to believe, in a few short months it'll be time to turn on the heat. Fortner Gas is offering a great summer special right now. That means the lowest priced propane of the year. Now is the time to take advantage and get propane tanks filled at the lowest price of the year. Customers can also pre-buy for winter at a locked-in rate. Call Fortner Gas in Princeton today.
We are back on the Sideline Report on a busy Thursday morning at 1580, 103.3 WPKY. The Caldwell County 10-year-old All-Star Baseball team in the studio with us today. All the guys are in here, and guys, feel free to speak up if you want to add anything to the conversation. Bobby Joe Thatcher is the coach, and he's also the Youth Incorporated Baseball and Softball Director. And Bobby Joe, how have things gone this summer out at the ballpark?
They've went pretty good. It's been a long season. We added more games this year. Got the kids a few more games on the rec season. All-Stars is just now getting started up. I know we got our softball tournament that starts Friday night here, followed by the fireworks show.
What time will the fireworks be going off?
Probably right around 9 o'clock. Somewhere around in there. The last game's scheduled at 8, but they only play for an hour in pool play games.
Okay.
So it'll start right after, just a little after 9.
I was impressed last year with the fireworks display. I wasn't really sure what to expect going out there. I was thinking maybe 10 or 12 minutes, and it seemed like it went on for about a half an hour.
Yeah, and from what I'm hearing, he's got a little bit of more stuff and a little bit bigger show planned this year than what he had last year. So it ought to be a pretty good one.
Again, softball tournament going on this week. How many teams have you got coming in for that?
We got 4 or 5 teams for the 8U group, and then we have, I think, 6 teams for the 10U group, which everybody will play 2 pool play games, and then it'll go into a single elimination on Saturday for all of them.
Baseball Invitational coming up in a couple of weeks. How many teams you got coming for that?
Yeah, that's July 18th through the 20th. Right now we're setting at about 30 teams for all 3 age groups in baseball, so it's going to be a packed house that weekend.
Yeah. Now, usually the month of July is everybody's invitational tournament.
Yes.
Where is everybody headed this week?
I think everybody's going to Trigg this week. Then next weekend will be the state tournament at Hopkinsville, and then everybody will return to Caldwell for the Caldwell tournament. And then I think we'll finish up with Lyon County's tournament at the last weekend of July, and then there might be 1 or 2 there at the 1st of August that pop up that we'll play. So,
Caldwell County, part of the Lakes Area Baseball and Softball League. It used to be the CCDL, and then we got so many communities involved that we got too many letters going on there.
Yeah,
so.
we have a lot of letters in that.
Anything new coming up as far as that's concerned?
We've talked a little bit as director-wise about for softball making it mandatory for all the infielders in softball to wear face mask. We're starting to discuss a little bit of it about with 8U baseball, just to try to help the kids have some confidence and stuff at a young age, with them starting around 6 and 7 years old.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, especially softball. I mean, you watch some of the softball games, even high school, and third baseman comes in and they're like 20 feet from home plate. So it's
you see a lot of kids get hit a lot. So,
and softball is a bit of a misnomer because the ball is not soft.
Yeah.
Made the mistake of trying to catch a foul ball a couple of years ago and just about runt my fingers. So it's a little difficult.
They're bigger and they're just as hard as a baseball. So that's for sure.
How busy will you guys be this summer? How many games is the All-Star team going to play?
Altogether, at a minimum, they would probably play 15 to 16 games. At a max number, it could be anywhere between 25 and 30 games.
Okay.
It just depends on how well they want to play and if they're ready to play when they get there.
Have you guys been playing pretty well?
We've seen some promise. Like I said, we played Mayfield last weekend, and I think we had some first tournament jitters, and some of the kids I don't think knew what to expect coming into a live. A lot of our kids are 9 and kind of young, so I don't think they really knew what to expect coming into the first tournament.
All right, well, appreciate you guys coming in today, and didn't expect quite this full a house, but if you want to, again, just tell everybody who everybody is.
All right, we got Cruz Edbert, Jacob Hopper, Gage Sherrill, Camden Thatcher, Eli Cotton, Parker Morris, Colson Maddox, Donovan Rogers, and Joseph Slayton.
All right, good deal. And might have to give them a little homework, as Coach Rogers said. Yeah, may have to watch a little baseball.
Yeah, they need to watch a little baseball and maybe a little bit more of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, no.
I want homework. I'm going to watch the games.
All right, I appreciate it. Anything else, Bobby Joe, before you get out?
I got it, bud.
All right, thank
Thanks
you guys
for
for coming
having us.
in. Appreciate it. Good luck to you guys this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
Again, that's Bobby Joe Thatcher.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and we're going to continue with more on the Sideline Report here in just a minute. We've got Caldwell County soccer coaches coming in. Rhett Miller, the Caldwell County girls soccer coach, will be here. Tanner Reed, the new Caldwell County boys soccer coach, is here as well. So stay with us as the Sideline Report continues here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
On this Independence Day, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly this afternoon. Partly sunny otherwise, a high near 89. For tonight, 30% chance of showers continues, mainly before 1 a.m. Partly cloudy, low 72. Thunderstorms likely on Friday, about a 60% chance and a high near 88. And the weekend outlook looking like a chance for thunderstorms each day. High 88 Saturday, 86 on Sunday. Again, for today, scattered showers and a high of 89.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors.
Get spruced up with quality mulch from Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road in Princeton. We all know that buying mulch by the truckload saves money, and it's only $25 per load for dark natural mulch at Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road, 1/2 mile past City County Park. Bashir Sawmill also buys standing timber and timberland. Give them a call today, 270-365-2330. That's Bashir Sawmill, family owned and operated in Princeton for over 50 years.
We're back on the Sideline Report at 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks for tuning in this morning, and thanks to Bobby Joe Thatcher and the 10U Baseball All-Stars for coming by today. Wasn't really expecting that full a house this morning, but it was great to have all those guys in here. And now, as we make the transition, we've got Caldwell County girls soccer coach Rhett Miller and you boys coach Tanner Reed in the studio with us. And guys, somehow it seems empty in here now. From a few minutes ago, got a few mics open now. Rhett, how's it going? Thanks for coming in.
Oh, happy to be here.
And Tanner, congratulations on getting your new job. And how are things going with you?
Thank you. They're going pretty well. Very excited to get started next week. I've been counting down the days every day.
Yeah. Rhett, how much work have you guys been doing before the dead period to get ready for the upcoming season?
We were fortunate to be able to practice about 2 days a week and just trying to get ourselves in shape and keep the kids off the couch all summer long, and doing mostly just some running and some skill drills and a lot of scrimmaging just to see what we're like. And we're able to have some of the boys come out and play with us too, so that was nice.
You guys have what looks like a nice-looking team coming back.
Well, we have, when you only lose 2 seniors, last year was kind of a rebuilding year, and it was really odd having a coach come in so late and just trying to fill everything out. But last year was somewhat of a rebuilding year, but still had a very successful season. I'm really excited about our juniors and senior class this year. We got 6 seniors and 8 juniors, and that's a pretty good nucleus of what's coming on.
Who's going to be the team to beat in the district and the region this coming year?
Oh, there's no doubt Madisonville North is the team to beat. I think they're going to be. I expect them to be ranked in the state by midseason. They're so strong, and Coach John Titchener is just a fine coach, and since he's been back, they've been right back to where they were when he left. So I've watched them improve last year, and just got to where we couldn't hang with them at all last year, and they're going to be something to be. I think they're going to be a lot better than Henderson. Henderson's going to be way down. I think they're going to be the team in our area to beat.
When do you guys get going? What has your schedule been set up yet? How are you looking that way?
Well, last year our schedule was an absolute beast, and I didn't make it. And we started off going to a couple tournaments up on the other side of the state and playing some just really hard teams, and we just weren't up for that last year because we lost 8 seniors and 7 starters, and only had 2 seniors, didn't have the experience. We had girls that are on the field that hadn't even had a varsity jersey yet, so they're starting now. So that last year was a really tough schedule for us, and it made us better throughout the year, but not good enough to where we could compete with the Madisonvilles. But that's what we're looking to do this year. The schedule is not quite as tough as it was last year, but still playing all the powerhouses in this area anyway. We're not playing powerhouses in Central Kentucky, but we're playing all the powerhouses in this area.
Well, you guys were better last year than what your record showed, just because you kind of got behind the schedule or behind the wins and losses early because of the schedule, and I thought you really had a pretty good year overall.
Yeah, we played 6 games in 9 days last year at the beginning of the season. That was the beginning of our season, and most of those teams were just high-level teams, and that's just a hard way to start your season. And you're on your back feet as far as your record goes, you're on your back feet. But that doesn't matter because the girls had a great time last year, and they saw the improvement in their game. And I think as soon as the last game was finished last year, everybody was looking forward to this year. So that's a good place to be when you're starting off this season.
What was the biggest adjustment for you going from coaching the guys to then being the head coach of the girls team?
Oh boy, I get asked that question all the time. And you just need to speak to the character of the girls that I coach now. I don't know if it's the girls that I coach, the girls that I'm coaching, or that it's girls. I'm not real sure, but they wanted to learn and they wanted to play and they wanted to please, and it didn't matter if it was me or each other. And when that was the case, they became very successful, and that's easy to coach. When they want to learn and want to get better, that's easy to coach. In general, we guys are stubborn and pig-headed. Mm-hmm. And high school boys are no different, and you got to figure out a way that goes the other direction. Girls aren't like that, so it's a really different style of coaching. And for me personally, it has been easier on me. I get much more frustrated with the boys. Last middle school season, I coached the boys and the girls team, and I go from 0 to ticked off real quick with the boys, and I'm a lot more subdued with the girls. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Well, do you think that maybe coaching youth teams has kind of helped you in that area too?
Oh, I've these boys that Coach Reed now has, I've had them as a select team since they were like 9 years old, and some of the girls were mixed in there with them, and helping teach them from I don't have a clue about soccer all the way to now they're in high school has taught me more than it's probably taught them on how to coach. We want to come in. And Coach Reed's probably the same way. You want to come in and you want them to jump to the level that you're at already, and that's just not possible. And I did that as a boys coach too. When I first came in here 25 years ago, I came in and wanted them to jump right up to my level that I was ready to coach, and they just weren't anywhere close to that. And it took me years to get used to that.
Well, I think that's an issue with a lot of coaches because coaches were typically good players, a lot of them. Well, when you're a good player, you can do certain things. Sometimes, though, you end up coaching players who aren't as good as you were or are, but you think they should do things because you could do them, but sometimes they physically can't. And I think you see that in a lot of sports where really good players sometimes have a little difficulty adjusting to their teams because they just can't do what you're expecting them to do sometimes.
Yeah, humility is a big thing for a coach.
Tell us a little bit about your soccer background. You've been around a long time. Both of you guys played college soccer. Again, you've been around the sport a long time.
Well, and I'm Caldwell County at heart all the way around. I mean, I played on the first teams ever here in Caldwell County in 1986. I was a sophomore then. My senior year, I was a leading scorer, and that forever, and that held until some of these awesome players came around here. Well, of course, we only played about a 15, 14-game schedule back then.
Yeah.
But so my roots go way back into Caldwell County. When I went to college and played for 4 years at Kentucky Wesleyan, had some successful years there. I was all-conference my senior year, and then came back to take over the boys program as my dad went to the girls program because he'd coached the boys for a few years, and then they started up a girls program, and in that same year is when I came back. So I took over the boys program in 1994. I was with them for 13 years, and then having a huge family, which is a whole different story. Did give it up for a few years and coached my son as in the youth leagues coming up and his friends. And then, as happenstance would have it, I ended up coaching the girls last year on a whim, and sure have enjoyed it. So that's kind of the history there.
And a lot of youth coaching in there, too. I mean, you mentioned it a little bit, but, I mean, you've had different travel teams and different things going on.
I've been highly involved in the soccer association here at Caldwell County, and I've been the ref administrator and on the board since I've been here, so 25 years. And, now I'm doing silly things like mow the field every week, but that's what you have to do. And, a county like this, if you want to promote your sport, you got to do some of the things that are like that.
And you mentioned playing on that the first Caldwell County soccer teams, and if I remember going back through the stats, back then there weren't a lot of schools playing soccer. So you guys were playing Paducah-Tillman and Marshall County and Fort Campbell just about every game.
We played Marshall twice, Fort Campbell twice, Paducah-Tillman twice, Murray twice, and Callaway twice, and that was about it. Madisonville didn't. I think we played Madisonville my senior year. That a lot of teams didn't, in Henderson, a lot of teams didn't. Hopkinsville didn't have any soccer teams back then. So. And
those other teams have been playing for a while. So I mean, when you're a startup team, it's kind of tough to get caught up, and you're playing everybody that's already established, and they've got good teams, and you're still kind of learning the sport.
It was different, and we didn't win much, so that's kind of that's part of it.
Well, again, though, you look at the competition, and it's a difficult way to start when you're your first year program and you're playing teams that have been around a while. Talking this morning with Caldwell girls soccer coach Rhett Miller and Caldwell boys soccer coach Tanner Reed. And Tanner, again, congratulations, and give us a little bit of your soccer background.
All right. I started playing at a very young age. I grew up in Marshall County, so I came up through that youth program. And truth be told, up until about the ages of 11 and 12, I was not a good player. I'm not saying I'm great now, but I was not a good player. Barely got any minutes as my competitive career finally started. But that's why I switched clubs to jump on to JPFC. It was the Jackson Purchase Football Club, where the Mid-Continent players and were coaches of that club. And I had a couple of good people, take some interest in me and wanted to see my game develop. And it was almost like an overnight switch from playing the game instead of just watching it all the time. I got better through that kind of strand, and that pushed me to do well in high school. Where I continued to play for Marshall County. I was under, Don Walker and Andy Pagel, Donnie Heath, those guys. We had some region title success, made it to the Sweet 16, kept on getting knocked out by Greenwood. After that, I continued to play at Mid-Continent University, chose to stay home and try to develop a local base. Whenever they folded, I found a home in Campbellsville University, which is a very well-established program. I got my teaching degree there and was a part of some great teams that beat Lindsey Wilson for one, which is a powerhouse in the NAIA soccer world. They're always competitive every year, and Campbellsville's nationally ranked now consistently every single year. They've had the same head coach, Adam Preston, for a long time, who's done incredible things with that program.
How much time did you get to spend with your team before the dead period started? Did you guys have some workouts or anything?
I attended a couple of the training sessions that Coach Miller had set up, and I met a handful of the boys that were there and got to watch them play and see a good base of the play styles that they have, some of the great things that they do, some of the things that I know already that I'm going to have to fix from watching them play against Coach Miller's girls team. But in the short amount of time that I did get to have, I got a good idea of kind of the team's identity, I feel like, and I've been kind of functioning on what I need to correct and what we need to stick with from that old identity.
Well, I was going to ask, do you have a style of play that you would prefer, or is it just seeing what you've got and then kind of working with that?
Well, I think every coach in their mind definitely has a style of play. It is true that your players dictate how much of that style you can or cannot play, but I do have my own personal style that I want to implement, and I hope these boys are willing to just learn from me and we can create that style the best way that we can based on what we have.
What kind of goals would you have going into the season as far as wins and losses, or winning this or winning that? What are you looking at there?
Honestly, right now, wins and losses has not been the thing that's been on my mind first, just because these kids don't even know me that well yet. My first goal is to get in there, to get established, to create a culture, to create a positive team outlook, and then things are going to go from there. If these kids show up to practice day in, day out, willing to work for me, willing to work for each other, and willing to work for the Caldwell that's on their chest, then we're going to have a successful year regardless of what our final record is or what our goals for and goals against record is.
What kind of plans do you have coming out of the dead period?
We're going to hit the field next week. We're going to do some strength and conditioning work. I may have locked in on my assistant coach, which is a player that I formerly played with, and we've been chatting back and forth about what we feel would be good for them during that first week. You know, when it's hot and your legs kind of get tired, but it's the same intensity of an 80-minute match. But we're going to do that and get a lot of ball work in. I'm a firm believer in touches on the ball creates a better player.
Do you have your schedule set yet? When do you guys open?
We are going to start next Wednesday whenever the dead period ends, and we're going to start that morning.
As far as the season coming up, do you have your scrimmages set or
yes,
schedule set for the fall season?
The schedule was preset whenever I had already come in, so that was another thing that I didn't have to check off of my list, which was a pretty good feeling to come in and see that was already set.
Now, Rhett, are you both playing in the All-A thing? Is that
Yeah, that was a point of contention a little bit. There have been lots of scheduling issues throughout the off season. We pretty much had our schedule complete, and then the KHSAA decided they'd move everything back a week, and so everybody had to start over. Most people just moved it back, and but not everybody. So we had some issues there, and I'd taken over the scheduling for the boys after Coach Schaefer resigned, and then we had our schedule set, and then all of a sudden we get thrown into the All-A, and I pulled the boys and the girls into my classroom and asked them if they wanted to play in it, and they all wanted to play in it. So that threw our schedule for another loop, but we got that figured out, and so we are both playing in the All-A at this point.
Okay, who are we playing, and when does that happen?
Well, I know that we play. We're going to start off playing either the Fort Campbell or Crittenden. I expect that to be Fort Campbell, but you never know. And then so we'll play the winner of that, and then when we win that, I fully expect us to win that game for either team. We'll play UHA, which of course we're really looking forward to. We really feel like we can handle UHA this year. They lost their 2 or 3 studs that they had. Their numbers are down, and although Coach Parker, I'm sure, will have a great team come out because he always does. He's a great coach. We think we can handle them in the All-A this year, and hopefully and probably face Murray after that. So we're really looking forward to all of that part of the All-A. I think, if you looked at your schedule, I think that they – I know they do. They play Lyon County. The boys play Lyon County.
Okay.
So they'll start off. In fact, it's going to be home because we're going to play Lyon County. The boys play Lyon County within a week of each other because that's the way the schedule went with the All-A because they got thrown in there.
Yeah. When does the regular season begin for soccer this season? Just wondered if you had your schedule pulled up.
Yeah, I've got the girls' schedule here. I don't know that I have the boys on me, but
I've got it.
But it's the same game. We play Monday the 12th. We both play Webster. It's a doubleheader, and it's at Webster.
So that is a little bit earlier than it usually starts then for the regular season.
By about 2 days.
Okay. Talking this morning with Rhett Miller, the Caldwell County girls soccer coach. Tanner Reed, Caldwell County boys soccer coach, is also in the studio with us this morning. Need to get to a break, but we'll be back with more right after this. You're listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
On this Independence Day, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly this afternoon. Partly sunny otherwise, a high near 89. For tonight, 30% chance of showers continues, mainly before 1 a.m. Partly cloudy, low 72. Thunderstorms likely on Friday, about a 60% chance and a high near 88. And the weekend outlook looking like a chance for thunderstorms each day. High 88 Saturday, 86 on Sunday. Again, for today, scattered showers and a high of 89.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Black Patch Grill.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
What if you go to get your mower out and it won't start, or the honey-do list of repairs around the house seems to keep growing?
Whatever it is, you want to resolve your problem quickly and get back to your regular life.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you buy a new mower or take care of those honeydews.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed, and walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call, and we can take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like us on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's, and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
We are back on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Again, thanks this morning to Bobby Joe Thatcher and the Caldwell County 10U Baseball All-Stars for coming in and joining us in the studios. Had a full house, and now we're talking soccer with Caldwell County girls coach Rhett Miller and Caldwell County boys coach Tanner Reed. And Rhett, like I said, you've been around the program here a long time. What's some of your favorite memories as both a player and a coach here?
Well, our first win, back when we were, my sophomore year, we didn't win a game. My junior year, I think we won maybe 2 games, but our first win, we beat Reedland at home, and that was a great win. And then in my junior year, at the end of that season, we ended up advancing, and we beat St. Mary's and advanced to the next part where there's only, 10 teams in all of Western Kentucky, or 8 teams. So that was the region, was all 8 teams, and we ended up advancing in our first round, beat St. Mary's 6-4 with former coach Alan Schaefer, and he had 3 assists and 3 goals, and I had 3 assists and 3 goals, and that's a big memory. And I'll never forget, I guess, the headline in the Paducah Sun that next day was Tiger Duo destroys St. Mary in second half, and because they had us down 2-0 in the first half, and then we just waxed them in the second half, and that's a great memory for me. A great memory in college for me is scoring a goal. We beat Brescia, who was our big-time rival, and we went into overtime 0-0, and I scored. And my very first goal was beating Brescia and 1-0 in college. So those are 2 great memories. But here in Caldwell as a coach, had some just great teams, growing that came through. And some of the memories were even some of the games that we on teams that we didn't have great teams. I remember we had one season where we didn't win very many games at all, and it just came a downpour, and I decided we're playing. And everybody else in Western Kentucky canceled their games, and we played. And it was against Christian County, and they came over. They didn't want to be there, but we were excited, and we ended up beating them 2-1. And that, I think, is one of 2 wins. And you ask any of those players, that's the only thing they remember about that season.
I remember that game. I remember trying to take pictures that game, and got a few maybe, but – and the first game, the first win you're talking about, if you go back into my stats thing, my big folder of everything Caldwell County sports, got a big star by that game. So it's first win right there by it. So that was a big one. Again, soccer coming up. Any other sports you guys watch or keep up with, or are you just pretty much soccer guys?
I don't watch much else. I'll watch a lot of soccer, and I like watching football. I'll watch UK, and I'll watch some of the college ball, and I'll watch college basketball. But I'm not a huge fan of anything.
And I keep up with pretty much everything. I've never really been a big professional baseball guy, so that's about the only one that I don't keep up with. But I'm heavily involved in watching soccer. I'm a big Premier League fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I follow them heavily. And then I love college basketball, the NBA, NCAA football, NFL, all of it.
Have you guys been watching the Women's World Cup?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
Of course, right now we're watching the Women's World Cup and the Men's Gold Cup.
Right.
I'm going back and forth between those 2 games. And until last night, I have not been thrilled with watching the men. But last night they finally played. Of course, I watched this morning because I was too old to stay up last night and watched all of it. But I enjoyed watching the men play this morning. And But I've been watching the girls, especially since I became the girls' coach. I've been really, really watching the girls play and how they play, and it's very different from the boys. The pace, that's the one thing that we should always look at. Going from boys to girls, the pace is not the same. Mm-hmm. It's just a different they're completely different styles of, even in the national level. You look at the pace of the boys' game, the men's game, and it's not the same as the pace of the girls' game. They are much more reserved and passing, and not nearly as down your throat and as fast and as it is for the boys sports. But I've enjoyed watching them both.
I think that matchup's going to be really good. USA against the Netherlands. Because if you're somebody that studies play styles, Netherlands has tried to kind of mimic USA's play style a little bit. USA's just kind of, they do have better players naturally, but the Netherlands is an up-and-coming team, and I don't know if she's listening. Probably not. The Netherlands girl that scored the goal yesterday is just a total fox. So if she wants to contact me in any way, we can.
So Coach Reed's watching the Netherlands versus USA for multiple reasons now.
Yes, I might have a half USA, half Netherlands jersey for that reason.
Whatever reason, to watch the game. I mean, it's all good. Rhett, I was going to ask you earlier when you brought it up, and you've coached the boys, you coached the girls, and you talked about that a little bit. But do you go in with a preconceived plan that, hey, I've got to do this differently because it's the girls' team or it's the boys' team?
No, last year I just learned that all throughout the season. I learned it. I probably had the best assistant coach. God just put the best assistant coach in there with me, and Jenny Burrell White last season, because she did a great job of explaining to me, okay, this is not how they're thinking. You're doing this. This is not right. She did a great job of holding me accountable to coaching females, and she was the best thing that could happen to me last year as far as getting me to adjust, because she had been coaching a lot of those girls for a long time, and so getting me to adjust to that style, she was a godsend.
Well, and we talked about styles a little bit. Do you try to get kids to play on your younger teams the way you want them to play later on when they're in high school, or you just kind of adjust on the fly as you go along?
I would say that for me, I have a different style this year than I probably would have had last year, just because of the different players. I like to go with what I've got. If you've got one strong forward, well, then you're going to send that. That's your forward. That's your go-to guy. If you've got a different type of team, this girls' team, I suspect that this girls' team, the scoring is going to be spread out all the way around. I don't believe you're going to see anybody that stands. Kaylee McEnany may have more goals than everybody else just because of the way she plays, but I think you're going to see a very evenly distributed scoring stats throughout this season.
Well, and you have a bit of a rarity as far as Caldwell County goes. You've actually got a deep roster this year.
I keep telling everybody, we're going to have 18 to 20 that play varsity, and any other year besides this year, those girls would be starting, all 18, right? 18 or 20. Well, obviously 18 or 20 can't start. So, but they should, because they're even for Caldwell, they're strong players and should be starting. So it's going to be very different to be able to coach in that manner, because they're going to have to work for every single starting position, every single in between games. You're going to see a lot of kids that start one game and don't start the next, and then rotates. And I don't even know what positions they're going to play. We may be switching positions mid-game just to change the way that the look is for the opposing team.
And that's something I don't remember Caldwell County having a lot of. That's more of a Marshall County thing, where you've actually got competition for all those spots, and you've got players you can run in, and you don't really have a drop off.
Yeah, it's you will not know when we sub that we've subbed, as far as the way that our game is going to be played. I don't think that you'll notice at all. You might notice that some of the studs are not in the same positions that they were, but you're not going to see a drastic drop-off when the Lady Tigers sub this year.
And Tanner, for you, I guess it's just still getting used to the guys on the team.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of give and take these first few weeks, finding out what they expect of me and what I expect of them and what my assistants expect of them. It's going to be a learning curve, but that's what excites me. I like coming in, not having any preconceived notions, and they don't have any notions about me. It's just going to be, we're going to show up, and what we see is what we get out of each other.
Once again this morning, we're talking soccer with Caldwell County girls coach Rhett Miller and Caldwell County boys coach Tanner Reed. I do want to tell you about Dave's Deal of the Week here at U-Ride in Princeton. It's a 2011 Jeep Cherokee, red in color. See Dave for details at U-Ride in Princeton. That's U-Ride, 310 Marion Road, Princeton. Telephone 270-365-3215. And Rhett, want to change gears just a little bit here. Somebody tells me you're a big Star Wars fan.
Oh, my gosh, love Star Wars. I don't know what that has to do with soccer, but okay, I'll answer that question. Yeah, I love Star Wars.
I wanted to just, branch out just a little bit, and I guess you're ready for the rise of Skywalker?
I just like to see what's coming next.
Tanner, are you a big Star Wars fan?
I enjoy it, but I'm not like over the top. It must be a coaching thing though, because I've coached with the girls at Marshall County High School the last 2 years, and Michael Boone has been the head coach there, and he's a huge Star Wars guy. He's kind of like Coach Miller here, where he's got the stickers on the back of his car, and they're all little stormtroopers and stuff like that.
I always like Michael Boone.
So maybe it's something that just kind of comes, and who knows? Maybe in 5 years I'll be a nutcase.
Okay, Rhett. So what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh,
and it's a bit of a trick question because, there's your favorite movie and then there's the best movie, but I'm asking your favorite movie.
I was always partial to Return of the Jedi, when but it's just but I like 1, 2, and 3 as well. So that's a tough question. I don't know that I can answer that question.
Can I say episode 1 just to make everybody mad because of Jar Jar Binks?
Well, I know best quote ever is when episode 1 came out and somebody said, well, what needs to happen now is episode 2, scene 1, Jar Jar Binks falls off cliff, but that didn't happen either. But
well, I've always thought the best Star Wars movie was The Empire Strikes Back.
It's one of my least favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the other movies? I really like Rogue One. I thought that was a really good movie.
Well, I tell you one thing that I really, really, really like about the whole Star Wars series is now when they start putting these little things in between and how well it all matches up. You just somebody is a brilliant writer somewhere that can make all those things match up, and because there's all these little bitty stories that you don't know about that are said in like the first 6 episodes there. And like Rogue One and the Han Solo story and Solo and all those different things, those are just interesting parts. I want to know now, why is C-3PO's arm red?
Yeah, we never found
we've never found that out. Why in these last ones? There's got to be a story there, but that's kind of what they've done in the series is they stick things in and they're gonna go back and fix that later. I don't know.
Can we all agree though that the first Star Wars movie is called Star Wars and not Episode 4 or anything? It was called Star Wars.
Yeah, but they're all Star Wars, so,
Good point.
I've probably seen Episode 4 75 times. I don't know. Poor Tanner wasn't even born when all that stuff. And I was 1979, and I had Star Wars sheets and Star Wars curtains and Star Wars blankets and Star Wars pillows and Star Wars action figures.
You still do, don't lie.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't. My parents still might, but... So I would love to just talk about some of our individual players and some of the things that
we're going to get to that. I just want to bring up the start.
I don't need to talk about Star Wars.
Well, it's the holiday, I wanted to branch out and just get your take on Star Wars and see where you were at with the new movie coming out and
I'm a Harry
if you'd
Potter
missed anything.
Guy. When we have that conversation, I can be more involved.
I don't think I've seen one Harry Potter movie, so that's...
Well, see, I've seen some of them, but I just never quite got into them.
Yeah.
You guys are just missing out.
Okay.
I'm probably more of a Lord of the Rings kind of guy.
We're a lot older than he is. We're a whole lot older than he is, though, Todd.
Well, let's get back to soccer then. And, Rhett, tell us a little bit about your roster coming up this season.
Well, like I've said, we've got 6 seniors coming back in, and most of which started and played a whole lot last year, and I'm really excited about it. And it's really interesting the different styles of play that those 6 girls bring to the table. I mean, you've got our MVP from last year, Maggie Ginn, is probably what we ought to lead off with, and she is just you'd think with her physique and stature that she would be one that you could push off the ball, but people find out real quick that when Maggie Ginn goes for the ball, she's going to get it. And if you're on the ground, so be it. That's just kind of how that she plays, and that kind of strength. I'm not sure where she's going to play this year. She may be playing midfield. She may be playing center back. She may be playing. I don't know where she's going to play. I don't know where anybody's going to play really. And so I'm excited to see what's going to happen with her.
I'm glad to know we're on the same page somewhere.
On what?
We don't know where anybody's
that's going to be different. You got people like Becca Seibert, who ended up being one of the big assist people last year because when she plays, she's very soft in the way that she plays. Not soft when she gets attacked. she's soft and finesse and puts the ball right in front. She was great on set plays last year, great on corner kicks. I'm excited to see what Sophie Littlefield's going to do, because she comes and her feet are so quick to be so tall and lanky like she is, that her feet are quick and she can make quick cuts and make quick passes. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do. I'm assuming that Audrey Wynn is going to end up playing a whole lot more this year than she did last year. She brings a lot of speed to the table, and I plan on using her a lot more than we were able to last year. She ended up being a sub for last year, but played lots of minutes, lots of games. And then Asia Boyd, who was really kind of a rock last year. She was one of the players that kind of shocked me last year in how much of a rock she really was, because she stayed on the right back last year and ended up having lots of assists from the right back and just held that position all season long. We got about 3/4 of the way through the season, and I realized that she had not been sub for yet. She played every minute of every game, and we were halfway, 3/4 of the way through the season, because he just didn't take her out, because she never got tired and she was just a rock back there. So excited about those seniors, and I'm just excited about our juniors. We've got about 8 juniors that are coming in. Now, a lot of them have been playing select. We got a new keeper coming in, Carson Parker, who played for me in a select league years and years ago, and she's decided to come back and play soccer and be our keeper again. And that's going to be somewhat of a game changer, because we waffled between keepers last year and had some struggles with our keepers on who was going to play and who wasn't. And she's an exceptional athlete, and she's going to be a game changer as far as in the back, and that's going to change the way that our defense plays, which is going to lead into who's going to play in our defense and who's not, because that's going to change. Kelsey and Hannah, for the last 2 years, Kelsey Adams and Hannah Young have been our center backs. I don't know if they're going to stay there or not, because both of them have kind of morphed into a different style of player. I'm sure they're going to play back there some, but I don't know how much they're going to play back there. Morgan McDaniels has done a good job on the left-hand fullback side, and I don't know if she's going to stay there either, because Audrey might end up taking that spot, and we might move her to other positions. So Katie McEnany was one of our top scorers last year. She had 7 or 8 goals against Lyon County in the regional tournament last year. They just could not stop her. When she has those type of games, then we're going to score lots of goals. Also really excited about some progress I've seen in one of our juniors, in Abby Hagan. Abby Hagan ended up in the goal last year for the last 5 games of the season before the district tournament. And with the return of Carson, probably going to have Abby back on the field. And we've seen some great things in summer sessions with Abby. And not just me, the players have noticed it. I've had multiple players say, man, Abby's just a beast. And she is. She's very tall. She's very strong. And she's going to make a big difference, which is going to be hard to decide who's going to start on this Caldwell County Lady Tigers team. Then you add to that, we've got 2 or 3 sophomores that are going to be in the mix in starters, and then you've got at least 2 freshmen coming in that are going to challenge everybody for starting positions, in Avery Ritchie and Lakin White, who they're going to challenge everybody right off the bat. And then Rachel McClung also is a great goalie coming in. So there's just going to be constant battles between our girls.
That's a good problem to have, though, especially in practice. Everybody kind of pushes each other, and you get better.
Well, one of the things that we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to have full field scrimmages every practice. Because when you've got 25, 26 high schoolers, you can have full field practices, and we're not used to that. Bigger schools are used to being able to do that. We're not able to do that normally, so that's going to be huge for us.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton, Kentucky. Rhett Miller and Tanner Reed in the studio with us this morning, and thanks for joining us on the holiday. I appreciate you guys coming in, and Rhett, you mentioned all those players you're trying to fit in. That's the good thing about having a long season, because somebody starts the first game doesn't mean they're going to start the second week, and everybody's going to push each other, and it just those kind of things build on each other as the season goes along.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be what's going to be interesting is who's able to transition. So let's just talk about that as a part of what we have to learn. Last year, and multiple people have mentioned this, last year we either knocked the crap out of people and beat them 10-1 or 10-0 or 8-0 or we got beat 4 or 5 to the really the Hendersons. Henderson just kicked our butt, and Graves County. And so what's the big difference? How is it possible that you can get beat 6-0 and then turn around and beat somebody else 10-0 the next game? Well, the difference is if you're a good soccer player and you're good athletes, you're probably going to beat the weaker teams. And you're going to beat them strongly because you can just take them over because you're a better soccer player. The stronger teams have lots of good players. And so you have to beat them in soccer. We did not do good in soccer last year. We did not transition well. We did not learn how to transition. We'd pass and stand there. If we're going to get to the next level, and with these 18 girls, these 18 to 20 girls, the ones that are able to transition and the one that pass and move and get themselves open, they're the ones that are going to play. And they don't know how to do that yet, and it's my job as coach to teach them that, to make them better.
What are you guys doing out of the dead period to get going for the season?
What am I doing as a coach?
And the team.
Oh, well, I'm doing nothing with the team because we're not allowed to.
After the dead period.
Oh, after the dead period. Well, we're coming out right off the bat, and we're having 2-a-days on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. We'll start at 7 o'clock, and we're going to be practicing at the youth field. There's not enough space for us to practice at our field for that amount of time, and Coach Reed's going to be having his boys at the Butler field, and we're going to go out to the youth fields out behind Northside. And we're going to be practicing at 7 in the morning, and we're going to be practicing in the evening as well. And that is going to be it. We're going to play 3 versus 3 over and over and over and over and over again to where they can learn how to transition. And in the first 2 or 3 weeks, we have to learn how to transition and get ourselves in shape, because you can't transition and be out of shape or you're going to die. So we've got those 2 goals that we've already set. The girls already know that that's our goal. They already understand. Even in summer sessions, we would talk about, look, you see how we didn't transition there? That's not acceptable. So they're starting to see the transition need, and if they can see it and I can coach it, we can be more successful.
Tanner, any other thoughts going into the season for you?
I mean, not really. It's like we said, I'm in a weird spot kind of where, I've got really no prior knowledge about the players other than the ones that I saw whenever I coached middle school, because we played against Caldwell this year. And last year. So really the only players that I've seen are the ones that are coming in, as freshmen, or the ones that are still middle schoolers. So there's a lot of unknowns for me. So it's really kind of hard for me to add things and add expectations and talk about things. All I can say is we're going to start off around the same time that Coach Miller said. We're going to start on that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and do our 2 days as well. I'm planning right now to have it all just go from the morning to about noonish in the afternoon and give them a little lunch break in between. That way they can have the rest of the day to recover their legs and, enjoy the last few weeks of summer before we start back up with school and getting back into our regular schedules.
All right, Rhett,
his interview is going to be a lot better next year about this time.
Well, yeah, he'll be a lot more familiar with everybody. He'll know where everybody's going to be, everything. So
we'll see some improvements both on and off the field.
Rhett, anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
We could add all kinds. We could talk about lots of different things. I went to the soccer field yesterday, and the soccer field just looks great. I mean, Mr. Stallings and Coach Stallings and Mr. Brown have done a great job taking care of the fields, and it's in great shape. We're getting ready to have a different score. It's great for the radio stations. We're going to have a different scores booth built so that we have enough room to breathe up there, because that's always been an issue. I'm excited about seeing that take place. I'm excited about the excitement, both boys and girls. There is a very strong sense of excitement. Both middle school teams came off pretty successful seasons. There's quite a bit of excitement. There's a lot of excitement with having Coach Reed come in. When for a small community like this, to have somebody that has his experience and has his expertise. I know the boys, because I hear it from my son all the time. They're extremely excited that I'm not coaching them, because I've been coaching them for a very long time. And they're excited to have a different perspective. They're excited to have somebody else to come in that knows their stuff and can come in and coach them in a different style, in a different fashion, with a different mindset. And it's not me. So I know one young man that's extremely unhappy about Coach Reed's coming in. We were worried that we were just going to have a coach that just really doesn't know much about it, just taking the position. So this is an exciting day for the boys program. Come in with the girls having the numbers that we have. We have 14 seventh graders. Didn't even mention that. We have 14 seventh graders right now coming out. And so that future right there is going to be great for the Caldwell County girls program as well. Makes it hard to coach having 40, 45 kids, but that's a great thing. So just the level of the excitement in the soccer world in Caldwell County is fun to watch for somebody that loves the sport.
And you mentioned Butler Stadium. Kind of a home field advantage for you guys because nobody else plays on a field like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, people like coming in and playing on it, except for how narrow it is. Yeah. But they like the atmosphere. Refs hate it. because they have to come in and everybody's right on top of them and it's extremely loud. But but people like to come in and play at our field, and I'm proud of the field that we've got. I'm proud of what they do such a good job taking care of it. We're looking to get a practice facility at some point because we tear up that field pretty good, and as nice as it is, it's tough to practice on it, for having JV and varsity for both teams practicing on it and then turn around and play on it. That's hard on grass, but we're excited about that.
Yeah, I would think the dimensions would kind of play with the other team a little bit, though, if they're not used to.
Well, Coach Reed will figure out real quick the number of times that a visiting team comes in and passes the ball out of bounds is a stat you should keep, because they'll come in and try and play it wide and it goes straight out of bounds because they're not used to that narrowness. It's very home field advantage there.
All right, good deal. Thanks for coming in this morning. Appreciate you guys taking part of your holiday to come in and be on the show, and we'll have you both in again, before the season starts.
Right,
that's all right.
Looking forward to it.
All right, that's Rhett Miller and Tanner Reed, Caldwell County soccer coaches. Also, thanks to Bobby Joe Thatcher and the Caldwell County 10U All-Star Baseball team for coming in today, and we appreciate you listening here on the holiday. Thanks once again. That's going to wrap it up for today. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Thanks for listening to the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. The president tweeting about his additions to 4th of July celebrations in D.C., saying the Salute to America is turning out to be one of the biggest celebrations in the history of our country. But critics calling him out.
The criticisms primarily center around three major points: the use of military tanks, the president's speech, which critics say by nature makes the entire event partisan, and that unknown price tag.
Fox's Ellison Barber. Congressman Justin Amash, the only Republican to call for impeachment, leaves the party.
In a Washington Post op-ed, Amash warned against hyper-partisanship, writing preserving liberty means telling the Republican Party and the Democratic Party that we'll no longer let them play their partisan game at our expense. The Michigan representative now identifies as an independent.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. This is Fox News.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
On this Independence Day, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly this afternoon. Partly sunny otherwise, a high near 89. For tonight, 30% chance of showers continues, mainly before 1 a.m., partly cloudy, low 72. Thunderstorms likely on Friday, about a 60% chance and a high near 88. And the weekend outlook looking like a chance for thunderstorms each day. High 88 Saturday, 86 on Sunday. Again, for today, scattered showers and a high of 89.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture.
This is the sound of a blizzard from the amazing DQ Summer Blizzard menu with 7 flavors, like new Sour Patch Kids, which sounds like the first home run of summer. Your first cannonball. Yahoo! Or your first road trip to the Grand Canyon. Yahoo! That's what the DQ Summer Blizzard menu really sounds like, with exciting flavors like new Sour Patch Kids and favorites like brownie dough. DQ, happy tastes good. Yahoo! At participating locations.
Your old gas yard tools may have met their match. Right now, the Home Depot has up to $30 off select Ryobi 40-volt outdoor power tools, like the Ryobi Jet Fan Blower at a special buy of just $129. It has the power of gas without the hassle, a turbo boost for more airflow, and right now, a price no one can match. Today is the day for doing up to $30 off Ryobi outdoor power tools. Red, white, and blue savings, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing, while supplies last.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here with my newest invention, a KFC Cheetos sandwich. You might be wondering why I'd make a KFC chicken sandwich with Cheetos sauce and actual Cheetos on it. The answer is, I just felt like making a KFC chicken sandwich with Cheetos sauce and actual Cheetos on it. It's a big old heap of cheesy, crispy, limited time only deliciousness. So hurry up and try one before I run out of Cheetos. KFC's Cheetos sandwich. Even orange fingers are finger licking good. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Give your infant toddler a good start with WIC. WIC will provide formula and baby food for infants and nutritional foods for toddlers, children, and pregnant and breastfeeding moms. A family of 4 can make up to $46,435 annual gross income and still qualify for WIC. Those on Medicaid will qualify with their Medicaid card. Grandparents raising their grandchildren, there is help. Contact your local health department in Caldwell, Crittenden, Livingston, Lyon, or Trigg County to set up an appointment. WIC is an equal opportunity provider.
When it's time to buy or sell a home, you need an agent that you can trust, one that will meet your needs and get you a great price. Hi, I'm Brandon Warfield, a licensed real estate agent with the Vince Carter team. I service customers in many surrounding counties, but Caldwell County is my home, and I'd like the opportunity to earn your trust as your local agent. So are you ready to start your search for that new home, or how fast do you need to sell your current home? Call me, Brandon Warfield, at 270-963-1225.
At Kentucky Homes Realty, real estate is their life, and sold is their favorite word. Kelly Mitchell, principal broker and owner, invites you to contact her office if you're looking to buy a home. They've teamed up with Movement Mortgage to provide a way for you to have the home of your dreams. Go to kyhomes247.com and find out exactly how much home you can afford. It takes less than 60 seconds to get the ball rolling.
This is Kelly Mitchell with Kentucky Homes Realty. Contact me and let's make this dream of yours a reality.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the Law Office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www